Hello and welcome to the third of our series of webinars, the Google My Business with the great and powerful Amanda Tento. Amanda has been doing Google My Business for the past 4 years, ever since she knew she was going to have a third child and knew that she needed to be at home and be able to do something amazing from home. And so she teaches us about Google today. And by the looks of her presentation, we are really lucky. So without further ado, excuse me, one bit of housekeeping. We're going to save questions until the end. Feel free to put them into the chat so that we can take them and field them to Amanda after we get done with the presentation. On that note, everybody, here is Amanda.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day. I realize that noon on a Wednesday is a little bit hard for business owners to jump out of it and jump onto something else, but I commend you for doing that. And I want to thank the city of Sumner and Sarah and everyone for allowing me to share this information with you. It is extremely important. And I say that because I make it my mission to educate everyone on Google My Business and the power of Google My Business, because it can literally get you thousands of eyes on your business for free. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we're going to talk about how to increase Google My Business, your revenue with Google My Business. At this time, it is actually probably more important than any other time in our recent history to get more eyes on your business, to let people know what you do, how you do it, how they can reach you, and make it as easy for them as possible. The pandemic that we're in has created such a financial crisis, and the rules and regulations are definitely making it so then that way it's harder to do business. I shouldn't say hard, but it's definitely more challenging. And so utilizing any type of technology that you can in order to increase your revenue and increase your reach and your customer base to people that you don't currently reach is extremely important. So I will tell you a little bit about my company, even though Sarah already told you. I actually help small business owners to improve their marketing technology through SEO, WordPress, and also marketing technology coaching. So that encompasses pretty much anything online related that needs to be touched with a computer mouse. I love all of those things. So what is Google My Business? So Google My Business is actually a public directory listing. So Google started offering Google My Business in June of 2014, and it was a way to make the map listings more accurate. Because if you remember way back, like Yahoo Maps, MapQuest, you would go, this is in that era, I'm not talking about those, but it's in that same era where we started using online maps to get directions to find different places. And Google was realizing that they had no control over if someone would show up to a business and know if that business was open or closed, or if they were even still in business. So by giving that power of managing those listings back to the business owner, it allows them to provide more accurate information to everyone on the internet. So that is the whole purpose behind Google My Business. And that's why they're so strict. And they kind of review every update that you make. They do all of those things because they really want to make sure that they're providing the best information, that their integrity is preserved. So it is now morphed into this extremely powerful tool for business owners to show up in both Google Maps and Google search listings. Google My Business is for most businesses, and I'll say most, and I'll talk about that in a minute, but it's for most businesses that serve local customers. So you don't actually have to have a physical location. So let's say you're a tax accountant and you actually have a home office, but you don't necessarily have your clients come to your office. You have to meet them out and about in a conference room or coffee shop or anything like that. You can actually still have a listing and still show the world your business and present it on Google, without having to display your home address. So that's how I have my businesses listed on Google, and all you have to do is set it up as a service-based business and not a location-based business. So it's a simple click of a button, and it will actually allow you to be able to, distinguish between those two. Who it's not for would be businesses that are exclusively sell online. So if you cannot offer a product to a local customer, then you would not qualify. That's the easiest way to distinguish if you're qualified or not. So if you have possibly like a network marketing business or something like that, where that product gets shipped directly to the customers and you never touch it, that would not qualify you for a Google My Business page. An e-commerce business where you have, like, say, drop shipping, you have everything shipped from an outside vendor. If you're like an Amazon vendor, those kind of things would not qualify because you're not actually able to deliver that product in person to a client. Now, that being said, all of your clients don't have to be local. So you can have clients, like I have clients in Australia, New Zealand, all around the world, and that's okay because I still have clients in Lacey and Tacoma and that kind of thing. So it doesn't matter that I have clients everywhere. I just have to have some clients locally. So I hope that gives you a little bit of clarification there. So this is what the search view anatomy of a Google My Business listing looks like. You can see here it has the number of reviews and the rating. It has if anyone follows the business, and I don't think I have any followers. It has your phone number, which is clickable, so somebody can just click that and actually give you a call. You can also leave a message and you can save it. This is one of my favorite features, and honestly, it's something that is very little underused, I should say. You can actually create, when you're using Google, you can just save things to a map and you can create different lists. So I do this for so many different things. I do it for like activities for the kids. I do it for like, places that I want to go hiking or, restaurants that I want to eat at. I'll have a different list for everything. And it's super cool because you can literally share that, save that. And it's also easy to share with your spouse or friends or anything like that. Then you also have obviously your website link, your email, and you can also include a scheduling link, which will link directly to, whatever scheduling tool you use. I happen to use Acuity. If you are a hair salon and you have like an online, scheduling service, then you can just click, or, you can put your link in there and people can actually click to schedule. So that's really helpful. The other thing that it has, which it doesn't show in this because I wanted to show you what it really just looks like without scrolling down, the Q&A section. This is a bit of a new section, and it's came out last year. So it allows the general public to ask a question about your business, but it also allows other people from the general public to answer questions about your business. So if they want to know if your tuna sandwich has pickles on it, someone else can say, yes, but they're this kind of pickle and it's amazing, or no, and it should, or whatever. So you can use that section to also kind of be proactive and answer some commonly asked questions in that section yourself in order to avoid, kind of negative comments that could be out there without your control. You cannot delete any Q&A. So if somebody were to leave a question and an answer that you didn't like, you can't delete it, but you can also not opt out of it. So that's why it's been a little bit of a thorn in the side of business owners as far as a feature of Google My Business. And then you also have more info. So you can just learn more about the business, and that will take you to, your basically description, attributes, things like that, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So this is what it looks like on a map. And I was talking about how you can have your business set as a service-based business. And in order to do that, you can just tell it where you want to serve. So right now I have mine set to all of the United States. And you can see that basically Google just drew a map or a line around the map and said, this is where she serves. So anyone that comes to my profile will know that I can help them. So you can set your location on that note to all the way down to the zip code. So if you want to target a really affluent neighborhood, you can put that neighborhood in there. You can target it by zip code, by city, by county, by state, country, all of those things. So it's really can be as defined as you want it to, or as broad. And again, you see all of these things. We have website, you can save it, the reviews, and then you can also request a quote if you're a service-based business and you have different services or something like that that you offer. You can have a request a quote button, and then people can submit a request. So let's say somebody wanted a website done, but it was a super custom website, then they would hit request a quote, and then I would get a message and I could reply. And then also if you have products, those products will be featured down here at the bottom. And again, appointment link, phone number, and hours. It's very important with Google My Business that you have hours set. If you don't have any hours set, like if you just have closed all the time, Google is not going to serve your listing to anyone. The reason for that is because they don't know if you're really open or not. If you have hours by appointment only, I would suggest turning your hours to at least 24 hours, like Monday through Friday on the day that you work, and then making sure you have your appointment link in there. That would be the best strategy for that kind of situation. So why do you need a Google My Business listing? If it hasn't already excited you yet, let's talk about a little bit more about why. So 79% of desktop searches all around the world take place on Google. So that's like almost 80% of every search on the internet that's done from a desktop taking place on Google. That's a crazy, crazy figure. In 10 countries, including the United States and Japan, there are more mobile searches that take place on Google than on desktop. So that means that number is even higher in 10 different countries. There are 5 billion, not million, billion monthly searches on Google for restaurants every single month. 1 billion monthly searches on Google for clothing stores every single month. 600 million monthly searches on Google for beauty salons. 5 million monthly searches for coffee shops, which I think that's the thing that I search for the most. But and then let's talk about what the current Google, search results look like. About, let's see, probably a little over a year ago, the search results would have had this little thing kind of like off to the side, right? This little box, this is called the snack pack. This would have been off to the side and you wouldn't really see, the Google My Business listings. You would see the organic website listings, okay? And what the SEO industry has, I kind of feel like failed to overlook, is that this has transformed where the focus of search engine optimization should be. I really feel like it should not be as heavily focused on the actual website. Of course, you still want to do that as an ongoing process, but Google My Business can get you to the top way quicker. So I'm not sure if any of you know Angie Witten from Harmony Photography. I helped her with her Google My Business last fall, and in 6 weeks, she was #1. So she was actually at #9, and she followed my method of managing her profile, and she got all the way up to #1. And if you search for photographer in Puyallup, she is still #1 to this day because she's maintaining that. And it's just amazing to see. I actually have another client that I worked with last month, and it took her a lot less time, but she is now ranking #1 in Portland for a naturopath. So super cool how quickly it can happen and how easy it is, but it just takes kind of either a shift of focus or a little bit more energy. So in closing, this is now what you see on Google when you search for something. So if you search for a photographer, you're going to see these listings. And then when you click on more businesses, you're just going to literally see like 20 more listings come up. This person here, Kelly Hodges, has paid to be number one. So that is a strategy. You can do that, but you can also get to number one without having to pay a lot of money. So keep that in mind. So let's talk about consumer needs. Consumers, and you and I are included in this, need information extremely quickly. If we want to go somewhere, we want to know how to get there quickly. We want answers to our questions absolutely quickly. We've been trained in that instant gratification, making sure that everything is at our fingertips. So think about your own search habits and how much you use Google. I know I use Google probably at least 5 times a day, just for who knows what, any question that I'm wondering or anything like that. Like my daughter asked some weird question the other day that I can't remember, but we Googled it, obviously. So what are you searching for? Whatever you're searching for your own life, for your family, your customers are doing the exact same thing because they're people and they're living basically the same life that you are, except they don't know how to acquire the services that you offer other than Googling them. So if you are not on Google, if you don't have a Google My Business profile, and you're not on Google and you're not at the top, they're going to be finding your competitors instead of your business when they are searching. So now I'm going to go into how to claim and create your listing. There are some really important steps here that you can't miss. If you miss it, then you're going to end up with a duplicate listing and you're not going to be able to post. So it's very important. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to actually go to business.google.com and you're going to search for the name of your business in the search bar. And the reason you want to do this is because if you are a location-based business, chances are Google has already created a profile for you just based on the fact that they know that your business is in existence and they know where it's located. And so what you need to do if your business does come up, but you know that you haven't claimed it, is go ahead and claim it. Okay, don't create a new listing because that will cause a lot more work for you in the future, and it will also make things harder for you. If you don't show up, if your business name doesn't show up, then go ahead and create a listing and make sure when you're creating that listing that you use whatever name is basically on the sign of your business, and make sure you're using that on your Facebook, on your Instagram. Make sure that it's the same everywhere. So if you're an LLC, you don't need to put like the LLC on there, just put the name that you actually use that people know you by, because that's what they're going to be searching for. The second thing, well, I already talked about this, but if you see your business, claim it. If not, then create it. So we just talked about that. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to optimize your profile. You don't want to leave anything blank. Leave no box unchecked. Leave absolutely nothing blank. The more information you give to Google, the more seriously they take your business. And the more they think that you actually, want to give them information that's accurate. And along with that, make sure that you select the attributes. So there are veteran attributes. So if your business is veteran owned, you can check that. Female owned, there's also different types of, for location-based businesses, they're going to ask you if you have handicap access. They're going to ask a whole bunch of questions, and make sure you just fill everything out. I promise you that it will pay off in the end for those extra like 5 minutes that it will take. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to upload your photos, including your logo, and then you're going to verify your listing. And what you have to do to verify your listing is they'll just mail you a mailer. Give me 1 second. I'm going to escape so I can show you what the mailer looks like. So I have my mailer for one of my businesses that I got, and it looks like this. So it's actually a perforated, kind of almost like a check that you would get in the mail. So it's perforated on all four sides. And then inside, it has a number, and that's your verification code. So once you get this, you're going to go to google.com/verify my business, and you're going to put in this number. So make sure that your household knows that if they see anything coming from Google My Business, not to throw it away. Super important, because if they do throw it away, then you're going to have to go ahead and go back to square one as far as re-verifying. And it takes about 5 business days to get your verification in the mail before you request it, or from when you request it. The next step after you verify, you can go ahead and add your products or services. If you have like 300 products, I would just go ahead and put in your top 10 to start with, or your top 20, whatever you have time to do. But the cool thing is it actually gives you the opportunity to put links to purchase those products, and also links to purchase your services. So you can literally direct people right to your website, right to that particular service or product. And it kind of takes out a step of them having to search the internet for your product, or having to search your website for your product, because you already have it on there. It's already displaying on your profile, and it makes it so much easier for them to go from an interested party to a customer. The next thing is, if you have a scheduling link, which I highly recommend, an online scheduling link, I would go ahead and put that in, because it's a really important part. Setting your service area, that's another part that you want to not skip. Even if you are a local business, I would go ahead and put in all of those service areas that you want to service. So if you're in Sumner, you're going to want to put in like Puyallup, Bonnie Lake, all of those areas, because you don't want to miss anything. The next thing is you're going to optimize your description. So you want to use all 750 characters. And what I usually do for my clients is I will go into a Word doc and I will just type it all out, and I'll check the character count, and then I will copy and paste it back into Google. So I know that I'm using all of those characters, because it's expensive, or not expensive, it's real estate, it's your opportunity to capitalize on a free way to tell people what your business is about. Don't go into the history of your business, just talk about what you do, who you serve, and the areas that you serve them in. So that will be an easy formula to follow. The next step is you need to post to your profile at least twice per week. And you can post updates, you can post, there's so many different things that you can post. You can post an event. If you have an event coming up, even a virtual event, you can post the link for people to sign up. Just make sure that you're posting at least twice a week. You will notice that Google encourages you to post at least once per week. Why do I encourage you to post a minimum of twice per week? Because you're going to get more traction. Okay. So whatever they're recommending is the minimum. And then I like to at least double it for my clients. I triple it. And I post 3 times per week for all of my clients. But so your needs as a business owner are different than a consumer. You want to be more competitive, which is normal, natural. You want to be, if you're a hair salon, you want to be the one that everyone calls for, or that more people are calling than someone else. If you also want to spend less money, and you want to get more calls. So making sure that you're getting the calls. If you're a plumber, if someone searched for a plumber in Sumner, you want to be the one that they call. You don't want to be, like 8th on the list and never getting those calls of the people that are searching for a plumber right when they need it. You want to also target customers that are actually searching for your services. And this is the big distinction between Google My Business and social media. So on Facebook, I'm going to give you a little quick rundown here. About 2% of your page followers will see any given post that you do on your Facebook business page, okay? So if you're investing a lot of time and effort into Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, you're going to realize that you might get like a few likes, right? A few comments, nothing huge. It's very hard to overcome that now with the way that Facebook and Instagram have reformulated their algorithms. And so let's say you have 1,000 followers on your Facebook business page, 20 of them are going to be served your update, your post, anything, whatever it is. Of those 20 people, maybe however many people that it interests are going to either click on it or engage with it. That's why it's really, really hard to reach those people. Another thing to think about is, like, let's say you are a plumber and you post an update about a special you have on your Facebook page. How many people are actually in need of your services at that time that they see your post? Probably not many. Out of your 20 people that see it, just giving that example for numbers, but out of those 20 people, I doubt that one of them even needs a plumber at that particular moment. It could be that Facebook served it to the wrong people. Who knows? But the thing about Google is that the people that are searching for a plumber on Google need a plumber right now. And what they're going to do is they're going to go to it and they're going to call one of those top 3 plumbers, because those are the ones that have the most reviews. They're the ones that have the most accurate listings, and they're the ones that Google actually trusts for their profile to be accurate. So that's who is going to get that business of those people. So it's really, really different than regular social media, but it's also way more powerful. I'm going to share with you a case study of a local auto shop, local shop in Seattle that I want to share you their insights, because it's really staggering to see monthly numbers from a local business and the potential for you and your business. So in 1 week, they had 1,998 times that they showed up in searches. They had 18,253 times that they showed up in monthly searches. They had 64,660 times that they showed up in quarterly searches. So that's in 3 months. And they appeared on search 3,600 times and 33,200 times on maps. So what that is telling you is that more people are looking to, when you're searching for something on a map, that means you want to go there. That means that you're searching for something that's local to you, that's close to your house, you need an oil change, that kind of thing. That's why they're appearing so much more on maps than on search, because it's that intention, it's that action. People are ready to kind of take that step. They had 118 website visits from Google My Business in 1 month. They had 168 phone calls in 1 month, which is crazy. So if you're managing your Google My Business profile properly, you will start to see the phone calls, the website visits, all of those things increasing and allowing you to really capture more business. I mean, imagine if even half of those phone calls turned into an oil change, that's thousands of dollars right there. And I'm sure that they weren't all an oil change, so you can also assume maybe someone needed a transmission, maybe someone needed new tires. So you can see how 168 phone calls can really turn into a lot of money. Local auto shop stats, we have requests for directions. So there were 229 people that requested to go to their, to find out how to get to that particular location. And I also want to point out that I mentioned Harmony Photography, and she actually went from, I think it was like 400 monthly views to over 6,000 a month. So she had a ton of eyes. She still has a ton of eyes on her business, and she was able to really like blow her last holiday season out of the water by offering mini sessions, like holiday mini sessions on there. And she probably had about 15 holiday mini sessions come just from Google, just because she was out there, she was at the top, she had an amazing amount of reviews, and that's what it's all about. It's all about getting to the top and, sharing what you do. So there are solutions out there, and this is what I had referenced before. A full SEO campaign will typically cost you between $1,000 per month and $5,000 per month. And what they'll do is they'll fill out all your directory listings. They'll optimize your page speed, all of the technical issues that are going on with your website. They'll make sure your metas are all updated, your meta descriptions, your titles are all updated. Lots of different technical things go into the SEO portion. They'll also try to start getting you more backlinks, and then that way your website becomes higher in the Google rankings and those kind of things. This is a very costly solution to getting to the top of Google, because you can see it's going to be between $6,000 and $30,000 minimum for that 6-month period. And I do SEO, but I do a lot less of it since I have become more acquainted with Google My Business and the power of it as a single standalone service. So I chuckle at that because I'm like kind of cutting off my nose to spite my face when I say that, but it's so true. There's also pay-per-click campaigns. So this would be like Google AdWords, Facebook, Facebook ads, those kind of things. These can cost about $500 a month for someone to manage. Plus you have, whatever you're paying for your ad spend. And that's just for the life of the campaign. So those kind of things can get really costly, and it really depends on what industry that you're in, that will depend on the cost. So like a dentist could have like an $8 cost per click. And I don't know, a florist might have like a $2 cost per click. So it really just depends on the competition in that industry as far as the cost. So this was just a rough estimate. So a conversion rate expert is someone that will go in and they'll optimize your website to make sure that when people are getting to your website, however they're finding it, that they're going to actually convert into a customer, that they're going to call you, that they're going to book your services, that they're going to purchase something, that they're going to place an order, they're going to come visit you, whatever that is. That's what a conversion rate optimization expert does, and they can cost up to $2,000 per month. And then in order to put all of those things together, the SEO, the pay-per-click, the conversion rate optimization, you're also going to need a marketing expert, because usually marketing people are kind of niche down into their area of expertise. So that will also cost you in order to get the phone ringing by putting together a strategic marketing plan. There is the easy low-cost solution, which is, I'm sure you know what it is. It's Google My Business Management. So it's super important for you to be managing your Google My Business profile. And if you're not managing it, that means you're kind of like leaving it up to Google to hopefully serve your Google My Business profile to the right people that are actually looking for it. So you don't have to take that, route. You can actually take control of your Google My Business. You can, monitor it, you can manage it, you can do all of those things. And if that's something that you need help with, that is a service that we offer. So our Google Business services do end up giving you 3 weekly postings, which is one time per week is again the minimum that Google recommends, but this triples the traction for our clients. And then we also offer review management, so we don't leave any review not responded to. Google actually prefers that you respond to all reviews on your profile. So if you do have a Google My Business page and you need to, get more traction on it, go through as soon as you can and respond to all of your reviews. even respond to the negative ones. So if you have a negative review, the best way to overcome that negative review is to look in your client database and make sure that they're actually a client that purchased from you. And if they're not, just let them know you can't find them in there and that maybe they are commenting on the wrong business, but you would love to make sure that if they did come to your business, that you can help them in any way. Maybe they used a different name, maybe they put it under their mom's name, whatever. Just make sure that you let them know that you want to be sure that they're satisfied. The next thing is to make sure that when you're responding to a negative review, if it is a legitimate client, that you will let them know that you're going to do everything that you can to make it right for them. You're going to put your phone number in there. You're going to make it as easy as possible for them to, make sure that they know, and also the general public knows, that you care about them and their experience at your business. So that's a little side note, but I didn't touch on reviews much during the presentation, and I want to make sure that you're aware of all of those strategies. The next thing is optimizing your profile. We will go through and optimize every part of your profile and make sure that it is compliant and keyword rich. So using those keywords that pertain to your industry is super important in your description, and also pretty much everywhere in your profile. Reporting. We also provide easy to read monthly, quarterly, and reports to monitor your progress. And I will show you an example of an actual client report. And I also wanted to address COVID-19 while I'm showing you this. So this is an actual, you see that we are on a huge in February. And of course, in March is when we kind of had the COVID-19, and you can see right there around the middle of March is when we had that huge drop. And that was because this is a service-based business. It's kind of a luxury, if you will. And you can see that we are now on the recovery here, and this is through the middle of May is what the numbers that are in here are. So you can also see that huge drop. So if you're looking at your Google My Business Insights and you're seeing, this has been the trend for you as well, it is normal. Everybody had that drop, and everybody is going to start being on that upswing, okay? Another good example of Google My Business Management is this was the quarterly view quarter of 2020. Without Google My Business Management. And so they had 12,683 views. They were still at number one, but the amount of views has more than doubled by having their profile managed. And you can see that went up to 33,782. So it's a really valuable thing to make sure that you're just monitoring your profile and getting things moving. You can see these are, this is the total actions. And the actions, if you're looking at your particular Google My Business Insights, the actions are going to be basically where the bread and butter is. I showed you the website visits, the calls, and the requests for directions. That's what you really want to focus on. Those are the metrics that are really important because you want to know, okay, I'm back up to having 715 actions, and I've kind of recovered my Google My Business profile from the COVID-19 crisis, and hopefully it's just going to keep going up from here. You can see we're almost on par with February for them, for May, and then also almost on par for calls. Actually, we're 30 calls ahead for May. So it's very interesting to, monitor these trends and things like that. And that's also one of the things that we do for our clients in order to get them that information that they might need and be able to make the decisions that they need. Even as far as staffing goes, it's really helpful. There are metrics inside of the Google My Business Insights that can help you determine, when you should have more staff, because they'll tell you, Monday you get more calls on average. On Friday, you don't get a lot of calls. So you can actually use that to plan your staffing as well. So what can you do next, or what should you do next? The next thing that you want to do is absolutely 100% start today. So if you haven't claimed your profile, go ahead and at least start that process today. It's going to take a minimum of 5 days to get it, your verification back. Make sure you complete all of your information, go through that verification process, and start tracking your results. It's really important to track it to make sure that you're understanding what's going on, how you can improve, and what are those next steps that you need to take in order to get your business in front of more people. That's really the name of the Google My Business game. And you can literally see from the client results that I just showed you that it's really, really effective to be managing that profile appropriately. So, and if you have, I don't know if you want me to go over the last couple slides, Sarah, or do you want me to answer questions first?
We have some great questions. So
Okay,
if you
perfect.
want, I can jump into those.
Sure.
And okay. So one question is, what happens if some of your business is online, so not recommended for Google My Business, but other parts of your business are service oriented?
Yeah, if you serve customers locally, yeah, it would definitely be,
That'd be qualified.
yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. So, and then my next one is, can you explain what a service link is?
A service link?
Yes, I think I heard you reference that too
Okay.
earlier on. Maybe it was it the link? It was when we were looking at the actual profile and the steps in there. That was
Yes,
really on in the slides.
I will show you. Give me 1 second. So if we go to my profile, and I think I have it up here. Okay. So if you go to my profile on the web, this would be, my products are showing here. And so this would be what I would consider to be a product or a service link. So you can click here and you can see that I have weekly SEOs, checkups, WordPress site increase package. So if you actually click on this, it will take you directly to my webpage that I have for that, and you can sign up right there. So it's a really powerful tool to be able to, go from this person not knowing you at all to them being able to actually go right into, a package that you have and clicking right into that. So.
Great. Okay. So then we've got a question. I think we're being asked, did you mean post on Google profile? This is different from social media posting, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can post, and I'll show you my feed. You can post very similar things to what you post on social media. I mean, it doesn't have to be that different. Let's see. So this is actually the podcast episode from my podcast that aired today, and it's basically how to be a catalyst for change in your business. So you can put links here, and then you can also put buttons. So for example, right here, this is a program that I have created for people to kind of get their WordPress site up and running. So literally you can choose from about 6 different buttons. And I think it's learn more, buy now, sign up, call now, or I can't remember what the other couple ones are. But if you click this, it's going to literally take you right to the sign up page for this on my website that's appropriate. And you can, and this one, for example, you see it says call now. There are so many different things. Learn more. I always use learn more when I'm posting a podcast episode, and then that will take them right to my podcast. So if you have a blog, if you have a special offer on your website, anything like that, you can actually take them to those things. Oops, I did not mean to do that. But you can actually take them, you know, directly to those things from your Google My Business profile. So it, in
Now,
a way, it's similar.
where we just saw, they were at there, you're also being asked where to do these posts, how to get there. So
Okay.
how do you get to this page, your profile here,
Yes.
your dashboard?
So if you are signed into your Google account, you'll see your little icon. It's either going to have your first initial or your picture, depending on, I use Google, what is it called? You know, G Suite, that's it. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is it called? Okay, so I use G Suite. So when you click on this, if you have your Google My Business claimed, you're going to see this little icon, okay? If you don't have a Google My Business, you know, connected to your profile, you're not going to see it. That's another good point that I will bring up as a tip. I recommend inviting yourself in your business address and any personal addresses that you have to be an owner of your business. Because if you were to forget your password to the one email that is connected to your Google My Business, you still want to be able to access it, right? So if you were to get locked out of that, so you're just going to click here and then it's going to bring you to this view, right here, waiting for it to come up. Okay, so it's going to bring you to this view of your business. So then you're going to go to posts, which is where I just came from, but I wanted to show you the path. And then you have the opportunity to make these types of updates. So you can add a product, an event, a regular update, an offer, or a COVID-19 update. The COVID-19 update is going to have a little triangle, like a red triangle on it, to let people know that it is a COVID-19 related update. And I wouldn't abuse that by, you know, making a regular update under a COVID-19, because Google is going to sense that and not really like it. So all you have to do is click add update. This is the one that I use 99% of the time, unless it's for an event that I'm hosting. You click on add photo, and then you drag your photo in there. You write whatever you want to write, and then these are the different options. So book, order online, buy, learn more, sign up, or call now. And then you just click publish.
Fantastic. Okay, so now I've got this really great question from Jan, and you're awesome, Jan. Thank you for coming up with this. So she says, essentially, I got a lot to do already as a business owner. This Google thing seems like it might take a lot of time, and I'm already kind of laden with these social media pieces. And I do want to point out to everybody listening that we are, not next week, but the week after, we do have somebody who's going to do some social media automation for us to take some of this off your plate to make it easier to handle the parts that you can't automate. So we will be talking about that in the future. But today, you know, I didn't even know the Google posting was an option. How do you do your Google posting and your other social media posting to keep yourself from being killed by the internet here?
I have a wonderful tool that allows me to post to all of my social media, absolutely everything, and it's called Social Bee. So I actually have two different ones. I have one for Google My Business Management clients. I have like two different partitions within my social media thing. And I have my VA schedule all of my social media posts, and they just go out to all of my things, including Google My Business. So this is one of the few Google My Business, or the few social media scheduling tools that allows you to, you know, schedule to everywhere. It allows you to schedule to your LinkedIn page, which is very rare. And it allows you to schedule to LinkedIn, or I mean, Google My Business. So those are two that are very rare. It also does to Instagram, all of those things. This is by far my favorite. There's also another option if you already have a social media scheduler that you like, called oneupapp.io. And that is, I think it's like probably like $10 or $15 a month. And it, you know, it also schedules to Google My Business. So
We'll put that in. We're going to send an email after this, everybody, with all the good stuff. So we'll put that in there. Okay.
yeah, and I can send you links to those too if you
That
want.
would be very perfect. Thank you. Okay. So that gives hopefully a little bit of relief to people. What she's saying is use a system, use a method by which, one of these apps, and there's more than just that one. There's some that are free, and you can pre-schedule posts to make it easier. And then the other one that your marketing strategist will tell you is, if you can only take care of one thing, pick one. And what I think I heard you explain to us today, Amanda, is Google might want to be your one because of how much it will do for your SEO.
Yeah.
And again, that's search engine optimization. And understand that that is what puts you at the top of that list.
It's actually exclusively managing your Google My Business profile that will put you at the top of that list. Yep.
So that's something really important. So again, Google, if you were going to pick one, Google might be your one. And if you looked at it and said, I'm afraid to just do Google, you might pick Google and one other social media site, and spare yourself the heartache of trying to do 10, because that can be very challenging.
Yep.
So,
and I would pick the one that your target client is most likely on. So if you're like a hair salon, I would pick, either Facebook or Instagram, depending on if you're trying to reach a younger market or like a middle-aged market. Knowing that too, like knowing who your ideal client is really important.
Very, very well put. And then just to shamelessly plug you, Amanda can do some of this for you. And as she was showing you, she has a package that she can do that Jan does ask in here, well, should I hire somebody? Well, yeah, maybe, especially if you know that now you're going to be online, and you know that you're going to be online for a while, and this next year could be very uncertain. It might be worth it, if you look over your budget, to take out some physical advertising and move it to Google advertising. So, but that's a budget question for you and your team. So let me see here. So, okay. Another good question from Jan. I'm having a bit of trouble figuring out what to use in the search. I'm not sure if people are searching for my name or my business, but what clients typically search is perhaps leadership training, because she's a leadership trainer. And so there are literally millions of these leadership trainings. Can you address this?
Yes. Do you do online leadership training only, or do you serve locally? Are you looking for local clients? I think that would be my first question, because the answer will be different.
Jan, do you want to unmute and tell us? Or
Hi.
Hi, Jan.
Yep.
Hi. Thank you so much for this great webinar. My head is spinning here, but it's really great. I typically have done in-person training, but definitely pivoting to the virtual world and virtual remote facilitation and all that. And I'd love to be able to do some more work in our local community. So I don't know if that helps answer the question, but I was just wondering, I don't know if people would search for Jan Dwyer Bang or my name of my business necessarily, but they would probably search for what they're looking for.
Right. Do you currently have a Google My Business listing?
No, I don't. I have no idea about it. So
okay. I was going to say, because we could figure that out really quickly, but I can do a quick search here. And if there's anybody searching, so you said Jan Dwyer
Bang, B-A-N-G.
B-A-N-G. Let's see.
Oh, look at you. You're up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job,
So,
Jan.
I don't know how that happened, but there I am.
You get 10 searches per month for your name. Okay. And then where are you based out of? Sumner?
Sumner, yes.
Leadership coaching near Sumner. And there is no search volume for that. Or I would say, let me just do leadership coaching.
And hopefully everybody can see where she's getting that information is right under the search bar in very little letters. There's statistics that are coming up that she's reading to you there. She's not magic.
Yeah, no. I'm not like, woo!
Right. It shows up where her arrow is right there.
Yeah. Right.
So you're not, and the reason why you didn't say leadership training South Puget Sound, is it because
Is that what I should type in?
Probably.
Yeah, so I don't see any searches for that. And the things that are coming up are colleges and things like that. So I would say what are the people that you kind of
Yeah, what's your
work with?
demographic, Dan?
Yeah, like what are they trying to learn from you?
And I apologize for my ignorance in this quick question, but what did we just discover here by, because what did we discover by what you just did?
Okay.
Now, sorry.
You just got a really key piece of information, actually, which is leadership training isn't something that people are using as a phrase to search for you.
Right.
But your name, on the other hand, comes up 10 times a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So leadership training does not make a good keyword. Keyword is a key thing. If I have a keyword search, that's like a hashtag. It's one of those things where now we've got to stand out something. And when people go and they type it in, they associate me with it. So for instance, if the keyword were coaching, you'd want coaching on your website in a bunch of different places, because then that would help your when they search for you, they use the word coaching and you have it, they find you.
Right.
Yep.
So
Okay.
yeah, so you learn training, you don't want to use the word training, because that's not doing anything for you in that particular method.
Yeah,
Okay.
coaching isn't either. So the leadership coaching, the leadership training, there are no searches for those in like the South Puget Sound area. I don't know if you want to like try Seattle. Maybe that would have a larger reach, but just something to consider, that you definitely want to use your name for your Google My Business, like
Okay.
when you claim it. Definitely use your name for that. And then in the description, like I see you have some things here. You could say professional speaker, trainer, consultant, and coach, and then what you actually do, like what those outcomes are for your clients, because those are most likely the things that they're going to be searching for, like how to be a leader, right? Those are going to be the things that they're actually searching for. So if you're thinking about even making blog posts and things like that, those are the kind of things that you want to focus on.
Okay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate
That was
that.
great information. That was really
Definitely.
beautiful. And get that, working with Amanda, you could get that kind of great information.
Yeah.
Done. So does anyone else have any other questions? I do have a question about the slides, and whether or not you might not feel comfortable giving us your proprietary slides, but maybe we have a checklist of those steps in there.
Yes, so I do and I don't. I do. So I actually have a Google My Business educational email series that will kind of walk you through all of these things, with weekly emails. So you can actually sign up for that at thedeterminedmom.com/Google. And there'll be a little box that pops up and it says, if you'd like to, learn more about Google My Business, and it's just kind of like an education series that walks you through everything. I also have a master course that I just created and released inside of my membership. So I have a membership site and it's called onlinemarketingformoms.com. Inside of that is where the Google My Business course lies. There's also an SEO course. There's also access to, I just hosted a virtual summit in April, and there's 39 sessions in there that you would have access to from that virtual summit, and just a million things in there, I think. Time management. I also have a course that just got added from Aweber, who's an email marketing service. So it's a really great place to be, and you can actually access that as well. So if I do have 2 special offers for the attendees, and those are 20% off of the monthly Google My Business management services if you sign up before the end of June. So I think that's like Tuesday or Monday. I don't even know.
It's next week. It is.
It's sometime next week. So you have some time to think about it, but you would get 20% off of your monthly invoice as long as you keep that service. And in order to redeem that, you're going to use the code Sumner. And if you click on any of the links in the slide, which Sarah's going to include in that email, if you click on any of these words in the slide, you're going to get taken right to where you can redeem that. The other thing that I have is if you're looking more for, I know Jan said she needs someone to do this for her, which I completely understand. That's why I do both sides of the coin, because if you have more time, then you can actually learn to do it yourself within that course. And if you do, you know, sign up for a membership with Online Marketing for Moms before June 30th, you'll also get 20% off of your monthly invoice for that. So using the same code.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That is a great offer to everyone. So, and on that note, people, we are at the end of our hour and everybody's got to get back to work, I'm sure. So, Amanda, thank you very much. That was a chock full seminar. We got so much out of that. Everybody, I hope you know you got more than you realize.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate it. So
awesome. Well, I'm glad. And thank you so much for having me.
absolutely. Thank you to everybody. And you all have a great day.
Thank you.